Welcome to TimeBolt Office Hours live with Quinston and Doug on March 31st, 2022, where we are here to answer your questions, check your workflows, and just give some helpful tips on how to get the most out of TimeBolt. And it looks like first we have on Rianne, but she clicked off. And Eric are you around?
Yeah, I'm here.
Eric, how you doing?
Okay. Sorry, it's a little, it's kind of still morning here.
Oh yeah,
Morning
absolutely.
where you guys are too, I lived in St. Louis for 10 years.
Oh, nice. Well, for 10 years?
Yeah, I lived there from 84 to about 94.
How did you escape?
It was before the light rail came in.
Before the light rail came in, huh?
Yeah. Because I never saw that era.
Yeah.
I lived in a bunch of places there. I lived in front everywhere.
The light rail is a train? Light rail is a train? Is it a train?
The train, yeah. They put a train in, right?
They put a train in. They also have the loopback trolley, which there's a trolley that goes around some part of St. Louis. I think it went bankrupt and had to get bailed out, but it was a pretty big deal. Delmar Loop. Yeah, the Delmar Loop trolley. I'm sorry you didn't get a chance to experience it. I haven't yet myself. But fortune finds us in good timing there. So, Eric, is there anything specific that we can help you out with today?
Really, I'm kind of in the beginning of my journey with all of it, really, from everything from making videos to, and I just thought, oh, this is an interesting tool that, probably will be helpful. To be honest, I'm not 100% sure, how should I use this? What are the best case use scenarios? What are the best, besides the technology, right? Because I'm thinking about getting Final Cut Pro and sort of in terms of, so everything from practices for use or ideas for when to use it, how to use it. And then that's the one side. And then from the conceptual side. And then there's the practical side of then how do I use it in a workflow? How do I actually use the thing? Then use it in conjunction with something like Final Cut Pro. So I'm really starting from the beginning.
Well, great. It's great to have you, people that are just starting out in video. You're going to save a boatload of time that you would have otherwise spent cutting up timelines. How did you think? Can you walk me through the process, how you came to even think that you need a solution to something that you haven't really done yet?
Well, I think that video is essential in terms of putting together a message. That's what I'm really thinking about is at the core is I'm thinking about my message and how I'm going to communicate an idea. And I know that, and I'm even, if you want to kind of go back even further in perspective, I am thinking about from the bigger picture, I'm thinking about setting up my core, my idea, my message relative to what are the core platforms that I need to put into place in terms of being present online, right? Just from that. So I'm thinking about having a website, having maybe having a YouTube channel, maybe,
Why maybe?
Have information out there that I need to have content. I need to create content.
Yeah.
So combination of video content, blog content, a website, and then really at its very foundation, that plus so that if people are going to search for information, they need to be able to find me someplace. I need to have some presence. And then getting into how to construct content, how to identify my ideal person I need to speak to. Ideally, if there's maybe multiple people I could speak to, how to speak to the ideal person, who might that be, how to construct content for them, and then writing that content. And then in terms of video production, which means everything from what's the tech that I need, what are all the, everything from lights and.
So you're talking about just kind of starting from scratch and building a channel. I think all the YouTubers and the prevailing advice is to just get started, right? And what'll be nice is that when you just get started specifically in video, and let's say you decide to make a YouTube channel, you're not going to get burnt out making editing the footage that you do capture. And so when they say just get started, I think it is something you identify your target market, your audience, sure your platforms, what kind of technology you're going to need, just getting started, getting on camera, talking about a subject that you want people to listen to, and using TimeBolt to basically cut up that footage extremely quick so that you can start testing what works, what type of content works, what type of messaging works, and without figuring out how to set up all these, the production side of things, and then realize that you're going to be spending 4 to 5 hours just cutting up footage that you've shot as opposed to creating. So with TimeBolt, as long as you're capturing on one long linear timeline, okay? I mean, you can do multi-camera and all that kind of stuff, okay? But don't even think about that right now. I wouldn't. And with TimeBolt, just throw your footage in. Have you used TimeBolt before? Have you put a video through it yet or anything?
No, not at all.
Okay. So yeah, so just imagine, just like we're talking right now, a Zoom call. Let's see. Yeah, just like with our Zoom call. After I get done with this call, if I was to cut this up by hand after a call, I would be in for at least 2 to 3 hours worth of work. And that would get probably 60 to 70% of the time cut out and gaffes and stuff like that. With TimeBolt, 80% of that work's automated. You put your video in. You can feel free to restart as many times as you want, because look here, I'll share my screen. Just keep in mind that when you are talking or you want to transition to a new point or you just want to think, you just stop talking. Okay? You just stop talking, because what happens is it's like it never even existed. If you have a mistake or a retake, if you have a false start, something doesn't come out of your mouth right, just stop talking and then start again. And when you do that, that time is entirely, let's just say this was dead air, right? That time is entirely skipped. So when you're previewing the timeline, you're not even looking at, not only you're not cutting them out, you're not even looking at them as you fine tune. So that speeds things up even faster.
Does it put an actual break in there? Does it put a snippet in there so that it's a separate clip, so that you can go back and you say, oh, I see that clip. Now I know that right before that clip is where I need to edit that other piece out?
Jump cuts. I mean, at the core, we're a video cutting app, right? An automated video cutting app. And so it jump cuts. It's like you're jumping ahead in time. So when somebody is sitting there listening to you for information, trying to get from point A to B, they're going to know that you put in the extra effort to say that not a second of your time is going to be wasted hearing what I have to say. This helps you look better than real life, because if you record raw video, you're just never as fast as the video you typically spend time watching on YouTube and other things, right? This is just going to jump cut your footage. You see the effect all the time. What I would recommend to you, before you even think about Adobe and Final Cut Pro and what type of editor that you're going to, design editor that you're going to use, is if you go to our website at TimeBolt.io, and there's options that show you where to render to, okay? I would look at render to your computer, click that option, and on that web page, it walks you entirely through. Just go to TimeBolt and you would start right here, okay? Render to your computer. What we did was basically we're able to take and give you step-by-step how to best utilize TimeBolt, what the best how to import or capture, what the best settings are for your video. Stick to around these levels, okay, when you're testing your files out. And step by step, what you can do, you can speed scenes up, you can add transitions, you can add background audio, anything that really happens on a linear scale is what we're looking to automate. Any types of questions, if you're shooting long video, any types of troubleshooting questions, it's all on this page. It'll teach you exactly how to get on board as quick as possible.
If I want it to, as it takes out that space, can I also have it splice it at those markers?
When you say splice it, do you mean
create separate clips?
Not at this time. We do not have the option. We certainly see the value. We certainly see the value.
Talking about splitting those parts, like with the S key.
You're talking about actually. Yes. Are you talking about, when you say split, are you talking about like if you just want to cut a word out, or if you want to
split it?
What I'm saying is, you see every place that you have the narrow red band that's cutting out time. You see the green bands of audio on either side of it. In addition to cutting out I would like those green bands to actually be separate files, so then numbered sequentially.
Separate files, as you can export them as clips. Like each cut will be a separate clip if you want that. So you can scroll down and get to the option, Doug. You can scroll down to the bottom and there's an option called export clips. Yeah, so video clips, you can basically export the video clips as separate files, and they will be numbered with 5-digit codes. So 0001, 0002, 003. So each of those green parts will be separate files.
So any part of this timeline's editable. You can, like, we have quick keys, and that's what I was saying about the web page. The S key splits the timeline, and O key can turn things on or off really quick. Right, I can undo these things. You can.
There's the battery, and then I think.
And let's say I hit the S key there, and you can see the white line up there. It adds S key, and I can just turn that clip off, right? But if you're asking, can you say, I have a 30-minute video and I want to save minutes 2 through 2.5 and 4 through 6, we do not have that capability. I mean, you would have to just render the file, and if that's what you wanted to do. Part of the updates, we can now export XML and to Premiere and FCP XML, the speed ramps, the fast forward silences. We are still working on the resolve ability to do that with XML. We fixed a bug element that was coming out with Sony cams with Final Cut Pro, and now your output file, let's say you have a 30-minute file and you have a competition where the video needs to be 10 minutes long and you've got to cut out things to get it under 10 minutes. All that information is dynamically generated now so that you can see the total length of your file, in addition to when you start cutting out footage, how much time you're saving. And we also have a Tonya. Tonya, are you there?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was on mute. I hope you didn't hear me. Hello.
No.
I'm sorry. I thought I was just being silent. Oh, okay.
All good. It's nice to meet you. Is there anything specific we can help you out with? Or you just kind of joining in?
No, I'm just joining in. I love your product. As soon as I saw it, I bought it. And I was just trying to see if I could learn something by listening in. That's all.
Do you have any experience with time? So you just recently purchased TimeBolt. Have you had a chance to run through any of the tutorials or look at the web pages or anything?
Yes, I did look at some things that you taught. I saw a video and some quick guides and stuff like that. I do use it for my YouTube videos, and it has helped tremendously. It's like the best money I ever spent.
Thank you. Awesome. It's great to hear. Great to hear. And were there any parts of your workflow that you were like, I wonder if it does this, or if it's faster to do X, Y, or Z?
Well, I think it's probably me, but I got to figure out how I can get it to not cut my words off. Sometimes I'll say something, and if it has an X or an S on the end, it's cut off, and I have to manually. So I think I got to adjust those padding times or something. I'm not sure what I need to do about that.
Well, that's a great question, and I think, Eric, this is also very important. I appreciate you bringing that question up. There's two things, okay, when you do your timeline. The first is you got to get, there's the two settings. You got to get the filter below sound level. Okay, so with the filter below sound level, what we're looking at right here is people will automatically assume, oh, well, let's just increase the left and right padding if some of my words are getting cut off. And that's actually not the right way to do it, okay? And I'll give you the right way here. If you look at this example, like you see this little like red, see how you got some words in here that are getting in the red?
Yes.
I can't zoom into this.
I can see it.
Okay, yeah, there's some words. The first thing that you're going to do is you want to make sure that words aren't getting cut off in the red initially, okay?
Okay.
And so what we do is we go from -35, I'll try -40 dB, okay? So it'll tell you that it's going to rewrite. This is why you want to get this right first, your settings, because you don't want to go in there and manually tweak stuff before that happens. Okay, so right now you can see that this is entirely, there's no audio in the red there. You just kind of...
I'll just tell you why. So Doug, let me cut you off
Please.
for a second. So the reason he went above, so he didn't go below 35, he went above 35. The reason he went above is because he wants more audio to be detected. So if you go below, less audio will be detected. And if you go above, more will be detected. That's why you go more. So 35 to 40 is because you want more data to be there.
Nice. I actually learned something new about my own product just a second ago.
Okay. You didn't
You just got to be open and transparent. So you could also then go up and try, like, once you get it very close, you can start tweaking. Like, I'm going up to -42 dB. Okay. I've never seen it above 45, and I've never seen it below 30 personally. Okay. So it's within that range. So now you can see that the audio right here is a lot more clean. And then once you get the decibel level right, your right padding, I've never seen it with the long S and P sounds that at 0.15, it doesn't take care of it. Your left padding, that detects, that's at the start of the words. And so it's not, you're not going to have a long S or a long P. It's when the audio starts. So you can be very aggressive with that number at 0.01. And you're not going to go wrong once you get your filter below levels right to do a right padding at 0.15, and it should no longer cut out the S and P sounds.
That's fantastic. Thank you.
Sure, absolutely. And let's see, Eric, were you able to follow along with that? Makes sense?
I think so. I mean, I think that that makes sense, and I feel like that's something that's good to know right up front before I, as sort of one of the first things you kind of want to know starting to use it. That sounds good.
Yes, absolutely. And that's where you, if you have any questions, or you can rewatch this video, this also details that, as she was saying, the S&P sounds 0.12 to 0.15 on the right padding. It's just, once you get the decibel levels correct and out of the red, these really don't ever need to be touched, left and right. And obviously, the cleaner your audio in, the easier it is for TimeBolt to detect.
So those will stay as default settings.
They will. So the way that you record is specific, whatever your setup is, and you're typically going to do it the same way. So once you tweak these settings, okay, you can always go back to the website to see what the default level settings are. But once you get this right, the next video that you load in will maintain these settings. And what this 0.75 ignore detection shorter than does, it catches the random mic strikes, ums, and ahs that happen here. And so as you can see in the red, that's why you have this random noise, right? They're almost like mistakes. Or if I were to hit the mic or something like that, these are just silences that happen. I mean, noise that happens in the middle of silence that is 98 times out of 100 a mistake, and that auto cuts that out as well. So keep this at 0.75. If you make it much longer, it could cut off actual words. So
that makes sense. Yeah.
Tonya, is there anything additional using speed up silences, fast forward silences, anything like that?
I think I apply transitions to make it snappy because I like my videos to go fast.
So you apply, what transition do you use?
Oh, I didn't know there was a drop down for that.
That's funny.
I just hit the button. I didn't even know I had a choice.
Yeah. Okay. So if you are using transitions, okay, this is an important point. If I were to leave this at 0.15, okay, just leave transition duration at 0.15. But if I were to leave right padding at 0.15, you can see for best results, keep transitions 0.05 less than left and right padding, okay? So you would want to have this at 0.2, okay? You would want to put your right padding at 0.2 because, and what do we do, 1.15 here?
It's the addition. So the addition of them should be greater than 0.05.
Okay, so 0.15.
So because the left and right are going to be next to each other, right? So when a clip ends,
that's right.
Let's say one clip ends and the other clip starts, the left and right are going to be next to each other. So the total duration should be greater than 0.05 or 0.015 in this case. So it should have enough room to transition between those two clips.
Yes. So what I always do, what I found the best setting is if you are using transitions to do 0.2 and 0.2 on the left and right padding, okay? What that prevents is if you don't do that, you'll hear popping sound. You'll get popping sound, and I don't know exactly why that happens, but if...
No, it causes because the audio clashes. The audio between both the files, if it clashes and if it's not at the right level, then it creates that popping sound. But okay, like as long as the addition of left and right padding is greater than the transition duration, it should be okay.
Okay, perfect.
Because it gives enough room for the transition to take place.
That makes sense. Tonya, does that work for you?
Yes, I was just unmuting. So when you add up 0.2 and if you scroll up, when you add the left padding and the right padding, 0.2 to 0.2, that equals 0.4. So isn't your transition duration too long? You said if you add...
Yeah, I agree. It's too long.
Okay.
You can try it out. You can like make it tighter. Maybe make it 0.1 and 0.1. So it'll be like 0.2, and then 0.2 is 0.05 less than that. So yeah. Now you can do that.
So 0.1 and 0.15 here.
No, so the transition duration will remain 0.15, and then the left padding could be 0.1 and right padding could be 0.1.
Well, we can't do 0.1 on the right padding because that cuts off the words, right?
That's fine. I mean, it as long as the addition is greater, you're good.
Okay. So this could still be, so this would have
It could be 0.15, yeah. Or you can make the left padding 0.05 and the right padding 0.15. This will be 0.1.
0.1.
And the right will be 0.15.
5.
That should be perfect, actually.
Well, how does this, so 0.05 less than the left, okay.
So the addition, right? So left and right, when you add them together, it becomes 0.25, right? And 25 is greater than 0.15. Yeah.
Can I ask a basic question?
Yeah, sure.
So what we're looking at here, I'm just trying to put this together is, so what we're seeing, right padding is the end of the first clip and the left padding is the beginning of the second clip, and the overlap is basically they're going to split the distance of that overlap from the end of the first, taking it off of the end of the right clip and the beginning of the left clip.
Second clip, yeah.
Yeah, and so that's where they're going, and they're going to merge those two.
Exactly. So that is where the transition will stay.
So just to clarify, this is left and this is right. Okay. See how on the padding it's 0.15. You can see that this is a greater distance than on the left, right? Which would start at 0.1.
So you can update the silence detection to make that similar. Yeah. So it gives a bigger distance.
Yeah, just
now it's like, yeah. So if you make it even tighter, what will happen is the audio will start merging together, which you don't want. If the audio starts merging together, it will create it will create a distortion, and it will give you some weird popping sounds, and it will not sound good.
Only if you're using transitions. It just makes it a little more touchy.
Yeah, so transitions are a little complex because if they're applied directly to every single clip, you can't turn them off on any one.
This would be a transition other than essentially a jump cut.
A jump cut.
Correct.
So you can have multiple options. I mean, and I would suggest just using the crossfade.
Crossfade, yep.
Yeah, the crossfade is the best transition in my opinion. Anything else is too distracting for like a regular talking head video.
And when you're cutting in TimeBolt, you might have this, so when you're rendering in TimeBolt, you might be like, oh, well, I wonder if I just got a little more aggressive and did like 0.2, remove silences longer than 0.2 to remove more cuts. Well, you end up creating 4 times as many cuts. It takes a lot longer to render, and you're having unnatural cuts, in my opinion, through typical conversation, right? So it's going to take longer to render, and it's because you've just exponentially increased the number of cuts in the timeline, which means a lot more transitions and just jumping around. This is plenty aggressive for 98% of. You'll see if you're exporting, it may make sense. You see some of the people going down to 0.2, but these are YouTubers that have clear train of thought a lot of times, and they're typically have it scripted, which is a whole different ball of wax. You can get more aggressive at 0.2 if basically everything is scripted.
That makes sense, because then you're not trying to edit you're not trying to go back and edit out any of your content. Like, for example, this is where, other than spaces, you have everything, all your content is a one take, continuous, and it's only the spaces you want to take out. And this also wouldn't apply if I'm exporting, if it's not a one take for me, if I'm just trying to clips and have them sliced up into pieces that I can go back and edit and move and rearrange and all that, then of course transitions are irrelevant because I'm exporting as individual clips.
Yes, absolutely. Antonia, is there anything else we can help you with?
No, I probably will get ready to jump off, but thank you so much for answering my questions. And you are sitting on a gold mine, because I think a lot of people don't know about this. I'm in the United States. I think a lot of people don't know about your software. And I'm telling you, once this really gets out, you're going to be
not here.
Okay.
I'll still have my dog. No, that's great. Yeah, we're really hoping, Antonia, to really, we think the world needs a default video editor just to make video good enough. And I didn't know this secret until 2019, until I've been in video startups for like 10 years. right? I didn't know that if you remove the micro pauses between sentences, that's how people look born to be on camera. And podcasters, when you're listening to podcasting shows, I was just like, man, I'm never going to be as smart as these people. It's like they didn't need time to think or breathe. It was just a continuous flow of thought. And until I saw it actually in effect on LinkedIn, of all places, did I really understand the value of cutting out minutes out of, a video can do. So appreciate you helping us spread the word.
Sure. Let me see. Do you have an affiliate program? Maybe I'll say something about on my channel.
Yeah, that's a great question. Let me show you real quick. So we have a affiliate program. We've got a pretty strong affiliate program. We offer 20% recurring revenue and commissions, and we also offer a discount code for viewers with their first transaction and brand assets. And if you want to apply, just apply right here. You set up your PayPal, and all of it is just automated. You get paid 7 days after somebody purchases and goes straight to your PayPal account.
Thank you.
Be great to have you. Thanks again.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
What's going on?
DJ, how you doing?
Hey.
Not bad. Just
DJ.
the video, just had it uploading, so I was like, let me jump in on this. I haven't updated TimeBolt yet. I saw you guys did the Sony.
Yeah, there was a thing about Sony cameras where it has 3 streams. So instead of just having 2, like one audio, one video stream, it has a data stream, and the frame rate is actually stored inside the data stream, like that bunch of settings. So yeah, the metadata, yeah, exactly. So we had to write a different workaround where we had to like ignore the frame rate from the main video stream and then pull it out from the data stream, because that's where the actual frame rate is. And yeah, we pushed it out, and it solved a lot of problems that a few customers had. And this is exclusively for the FCP XML and the XML files. So it worked fine when you like straight render it out from TimeBolt. But if you have if you're exporting to Final Cut, it used to like mess up the calculation of where the frames are. But do you have a Sony cam, by the way? Do you have a Sony cam?
No, I'm using the Panasonic GH5.
Oh, yeah, the Panasonic.
Yeah.
Okay. It might even have the same issue. Yeah, it could have the same thing where it has 3 streams instead of 2. Then the main frame rate is actually stored inside a different stream than the one we're pulling out.
I should try it.
Yeah, and the new update. Yeah, you should. Maybe it's the same fix, or maybe not. I don't know. But I mean, it could be that you can record a smaller file for us. Instead of having like a hour-long file, you can record like a 2-3 minute file and send it to us.
Your super fast, super computer can update.
It is
software.
so damn quick.
That's how fast TimeBolt updates on every machine.
Oh my god, that was quick. That was like so quick. I was like, oh my god, it just like instantly happened.
Yeah, I need to buy a Mac Studio because fast is life.
Oh, I saw those. They look so good.
Yeah, it's 10 grand Canadian.
Sure.
You guys probably can't hear it. If I run the Sennheiser mic camera, it buzzes. And it doesn't matter if I use the XLR adapter or if I go through my my sound interface, like line out, it's a disaster. So, but if I record straight into my audio interface in the computer, it's fine. Which it's super annoying. It's definitely the bane of my anyway, let's
I mean, can you just like render it, like test it directly instead of playing with the audio? Just take the MOV file and test it?
Oh, that worked. It was 50-50 because sometimes it would completely miss and other times it would, or most times it would. That was like when I sent the clip where I was like, yeah, it's like going to the doctor's office. It doesn't work for me, but as soon as I record, it's fine.
Yeah, the timeline's not available. The timeline is not available for
maybe no audio. Doesn't look like there's any audio associated with that video clip.
Bit per second transfers. There's audio in there.
Oh wow, we're just finding bugs on the fly.
Okay, let's try this. When we do this, we'll do the multicam thing with the audio, and then we'll just pull the cuts from the audio and see if it'll apply.
Okay.
Niraj, we will be getting with you shortly.
There's audio on the clip.
So what happened there exactly?
It's 8K.
No, it's 6K anamorphic, but Final Cut just goes. It's the weirdest thing. You guys can tell I sync all day for work, so like. This is like walk in the park, the sync. I've made like custom keyboard shortcuts and all that. Okay, so this is our first, the audio starts. That's going to be our reference. So we know minute, 45 seconds and 4 frames, right? Is that?
Yeah.
Okay, right, so let's start with the audio. If this works. I haven't tried the new update, obviously. Right, so now we've got the computer recording. Get this done quick. My name is Shaun and welcome to Tech. Perfect. Yeah. So it looks like it got every keyboard shortcuts were clutched the last time. So
what's your DB level set to?
I actually moved
50.
it. I moved it to 50 because this mic, it's something like I treated the room and you can see the really crappy Amazon panels behind me, but this mic, like I don't want to gain it up too much because I still get a little bit of room. I do it this way and then this was the settings I used last time and it cut perfect. In my specific mic, it's going to be, it looks like it got every mixer.
All right. So
my name is Shaun.
Oh, it's getting everything. I mean, I don't, if you want like
it's enough, I think. Like
long padding on it.
That's fine. I don't mind because I did it this way because in the event that the XML didn't take, I would have to go back and use the same cuts and then I would just export it in TimeBolt and let it but I get what you guys mean though. And plus for me, like I'm like cutting cuts like that, I do it super quick. It's easier to have things cut up for me, at least relatively, and then I can go in and find. Yeah, for others, like using the padding. So what we're gonna do, so we'll save our timeline. So now if we pull up the clip, remember we were looking at media info that last time and we couldn't find the drop down?
Yeah.
The frames per second because we were trying to find what the frames per second were. I hadn't had enough coffee that day. Watch this.
Oh, wow. Okay. You have the entire thing pulled up.
So if you pull up media info, there's these 3 dashes and there's some.
Oh, that's the FFmpeg output.
Yeah, and all of our infos. So our frame rate mode was constant. Our frame rate is 29.970. Yeah, but if you pull it up,
this should work perfectly then. It shouldn't have any issues.
I had a weird issue with my camera, which I don't know. I was trying to do TimeBolt. What I was trying to do was I was having this issue where I tried to remux the audio because you saw in the clip that it was like coming up as nothing in TimeBolt. So I used FFmpeg and I cut the audio to match like this, and then I just basically exported it as an MOV and then I remuxed it and then brought it back. Problem was it changed the frame FFmpeg with the copy, not a retranscode. It changed it from 29.97. It changed it and added a 7 at the end, which screwed the whole thing up when I put it in Final Cut, because then my motions looked like I was running at 15 frames a second, but all my animations, I had to do the whole video at 60 frames a second and then convert it back to 30 to upload it to YouTube. I'm like, this is annoying. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, we got our cuts. So let's close and reopen TimeBolt and bring in the video.
I don't think anything will change because the update required the MOV file to be put in. But okay, let's just see what happens.
Yeah, this was. Let's see what it does.
See what happens. We got a few people that just joined.
That is just so weird. The audio is not being detected.
Well, no, you do all the shifting in the JSON, right? Like when I made this JSON file.
Yeah, but the shift will also have to be applied to the MOV file because they will need to be shifted according to the frames you have set with the MOV file, which is the MOV
specifier, right? Isn't that?
No, but that's the tool. That's why the tool is right. The tool is for shifting them.
Right.
So you have to bring it back into TimeBolt and then shift them.
Because we know that. Okay, so here's our frame rate. Let me see what I'm doing here. So if I go calculate, wow, it would help if I added. Okay, so we know that our main video starts at 1 minute 45 seconds for. That looks good. At 29.97, our main audio starts at 0. Our video starts at 1 minute shift. I'm gonna shift the main video by that's copy. Okay.
Yeah, but the thing. The issue is it doesn't show up here. The audio is not
going to
there.
work.
No, if you apply timeline cuts, you would do this, select your JSON, and we got the cuts from.
Oh yeah, you can do that.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, because we're gonna use.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, yeah, guys, like we're using. Like we're not gonna.
Yeah, what's up with the audio? I don't
get it. I don't know.
That's even I don't get it.
Quinston's pissed, man. We've never seen that actually. This is the first time we've seen it. You always bring up.
I am kind of pissed. Like, what is happening?
Well, here, let's just see what happens. So
let's just see what happens.
And we're gonna export an.
Is your name Kevin? Like,
Shaun.
Sean, can you like change it? Like, yeah, Sean.
It's the radio stuff when I do Zoom. Wow. They want me to keep it that way, and I always forget to.
There's something up with this file. I can't figure it out.
Okay, so anyway, we did our cuts. Let's go back and we're gonna import our.
But it's just 30 and it's supposed to be
It's supposed to be
29.97.
29.97 because
Yeah, it's supposed to be 29.97. It says 30.
let's go back.
No, you can't change that. That's not an option.
Okay, you know what, guys, let's do this. We're just gonna record something quick. Let's just do this.
Yeah, let's just record something quick.
All right, so we're recording. So I'm starting the video first, so we'll do this. Okay, so, and this is a TimeBolt test live on stream.
Can you say my name in there too? Doug, and just say Doug and with Doug and Quinston.
So I'll actually do an intro for you. Let's do this. So this is a TimeBolt Thursday meetup on Zoom with Doug and Quinston. And my name is Shaun, and I'm losing my mind.
Yo. Damn, you beat me to it.
In there.
And yeah, what we're doing.
Okay,
and
well, you're better than I am.
Can't hear them, so I'm just going to talk over them. I run the show.
Why is my voice not recording on your recording device?
Yeah, why am I in sound inception? Yeah.
Sound inception.
Okay, so that was hilarious.
Oh, that looks ominous.
So that's our audio off the mic. Now we got our
Audio, they call that the white screen of death.
so you guys can hear my computer audio, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can. Oh, it's a 1.55 gigabyte file. I can get that one.
Let's see if it does it now. Okay, so that copied, that's there. Post TimeBolt. Okay, we'll start from scratch. Okay, and let's pull our video. Big money, big money, big money. Hey, there we go.
I'm so confused. I am so confused.
There is a firmware update for this camera. The only problem is that firmware updates always freak me out when it's stuff that I'm using. Like, I don't want to do a firmware update and it bricks the ability to press the record button.
Can you do one thing for me?
Sure.
Can you use this file as the reference file instead of using the audio as a reference?
Yeah, so that's why I started recording with this one first.
Yeah.
That we can get. So did I do any adjustments or do we look okay?
Oh no, just export it. It's fine. I think that should be enough.
So first off, let's save our timeline.
Save the JSON and you can export the XML. Oh, sorry, FCP XML.
It says 30. That's weird.
Just
because
30.
The clip is not 30.
That might be the thing. Can you go down? Can you go even? You see the other?
59.
It's so weird, man. Like I need this file. Like I need this file. It's like every camera has some sort of their own way of like formatting the metadata. Like every company has their own weird way of like making the metadata a bit
this
different.
one I actually shot in 60 because when I usually shoot in 60.
Yeah, so you see that 60,000 divided by 1001. So that is the value that is put into Final Cut. 60,000 divided by. So can you just send me this file? I mean, I think I just need because it's 1.55 gigs, right? So I can actually work on this.
And so while you're getting this file, so next steps here, we've got to get to some other people.
Hey, you guys, I'm going to try to do this in the background and I'll mute myself.
All right, perfect. That's what we'll do. Shaun, we'll come back to you.
Absolutely.
Coach, how you doing?
Hey, how are you?
Hey, your audio's off. We're still not able to.
Can you hear me now?
There we go.
Hear me now?
Yeah, perfect.
Hey guys. So I pulled the trigger. I bought TimeBolt and just doing my first video. I'm super impressed. It's really quick workflow. But with the Camtasia thing, I tried that out. I don't know if it's still valid. The workflow with you have first to make a project and then you have to put it in TimeBolt and then you have to overwrite the project. Basically, that's still valid?
Yes.
I mean, for now, yes, that is what we'll need to be doing.
Okay.
Because, so the thing, I'll tell you why that is also. Like, it happens with the other softwares, right? Like Premiere Pro and Final Cut Pro, they already have this system of XML, which you can like directly import as a timeline. Now, Camtasia does not have that feature. So essentially, we created a workaround for that. Yeah, so it's the best we can do at this point in time until Camtasia releases some sort of API for us to work with.
And TimeBolt itself cannot export just a single file. It can only make a cut.
No, you can. You can export it. Yeah, you can. You can.
Okay, I haven't found the option because then I didn't even need.
It's called Add to Render Queue. There's a blue
button. Aiden, join us next week. Sorry.
There's a blue button. Let me check real quick because I found it did only like a lot of single videos, but the video I was fine with it. Let me check. Add to render queue.
Yeah, so add to render queue is the option, and then you can just like render it. So it adds it to the queue, and then you can say render.
Okay, let me check. Render task added to queue. Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, then I wouldn't even have to go into. Okay, that's not maybe for the new beginner not so intuitive, because when you think you have the buttons down there, export options. Okay, this is all the options I got. Video clips,
Also,
EDL.
you skipped over the blue button. Is that it? Are you saying that you didn't notice the blue button?
No, I noticed it, but I didn't know. Okay, what's that about? Maybe this is like the execution. Because down there I have like
Understood.
the export options. Maybe it's more. You
that
understand?
Makes sense. I didn't even think about that. It's
I
almost.
didn't think about that. Yeah.
Video clips, and when you just would add there just whole video also, because I would consider myself quite tech savvy, but I didn't know that add to video queue is the option to export to a whole video file. Because all the options that you have are listed down below, and I said,
have you used any other video editing software before?
Yes, I'm using Camtasia, and
Camtasia.
It's the same thing. I click on export, and then I have all the options listed.
Okay, now I understand. So the reason is that every other software, like if you use something like iMovie, or you use something like Movie Maker in Windows Movie Maker. These softwares, right, they have that thing called add to render queue. So they don't directly render.
Yeah. I never heard about that.
So Camtasia does not have that. So exactly. Right. So every other software which is for beginners, right, they have that add to render queue buttons. That's why we thought that everybody understands that.
Okay.
But now that you say that, it makes me think that, okay, how many other people might not understand that?
I can tell you, people who don't use like on a regular basis probably won't know. Because from the logical point, if you're not like, that's the problem with developers, and they know that things around, you think, okay, where my export options are, they're down here. I can do this, I can do that, and I can do video clips. Well, can't I do the whole video? Oh, okay, but it's awesome. So then I don't even need Camtasia. I can skip that, and if I don't need to. I mean, it's really nice. I can see it coming a great way how it works, and it's so incredibly fast like this. And I like the style of work. It's really intuitive and easy to get. Awesome. I think I will use it a lot. If you have then the cut and zoom even to make it more dynamic for like front of camera videos for YouTube. Great work, guys.
I think the next thing we will be working on is, I spoke to Doug, we're going to work on the punch in, punch out option, where you can zoom into your face if you have the talking head video, zoom into your face, zoom out, and then have those effects.
That's cool, because that adds a lot of dynamic and a lot of for impulse. Yeah, awesome. Oh, great. And I don't even need the workaround.
Yeah.
Cool. It was really good that now the email came with the office hours. It was like God's gift to me, because I wouldn't get it. I said, let's quickly dump. I'm just cutting.
It's actually really eye-opening. It makes sense. I mean, if I'm looking at this and I didn't look at my beautiful graphics that I put on the webpage, right? I mean, who does, really? I mean, you got to pay attention to some, figure out where you're going to pay attention to. But it makes sense. I mean, I would look at this and I would say, okay, here are what my export options are. And I wouldn't even have thought about the add to render view.
I don't know. If you don't know the terminology, if you're not like a video producer, then you think, hey, I don't know, what's that?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe if you have to, I thought, maybe if you have more projects or more cameras, then you add it there. And I'm cutting videos even 10, 15 years, but only in Camtasia and Power Director. And there it's also not. Or maybe it's just a big player.
I've used Power Director.
Yeah, so maybe it's just the big players like Final Cut, and so it covers mostly 80%, but 20% maybe that don't get it.
Would a button called Render Now be okay? Like what sort of button would you say would be good?
I think I don't know if the button, because down there when you from the usability, if you press text, the other buttons down there.
I'm talking about the text.
Yeah.
What sort of text would you prefer? Like,
let me think. You have video clips. That's the single clips.
Yeah, that's it.
And most makes sense. Video.
Save video.
Create video.
Create video. Yeah.
Create video.
Video or create video. So if you have video clips, that's the clips. If you want just the clips, and video is just the whole thing.
I will think about this.
Yeah.
I will think about this.
Yeah. But great that I don't have to use the workaround. I just can.
Great feedback. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Excellent. Is there anything else we can additional we can help you with?
No, so I added to render queue and then I just click start rendering and then it exports my files. So correct?
It'll give you a pop-up, which will then you can click on the pop-up and then go.
All right. Yeah. Now it's starting. You're splitting from blah blah blah, and then it says probably says save. Then it opens the window, save to when it's finished. Or does it? Yeah.
And you can go, as you can see, I just added one to the render queue. That doesn't mean that it just starts making the video right away, because you may want to go pull some other clips in. You may have captured it in 5 different segments. As you can see, it's teed up here to start, and you just hit start rendering as its thing.
Okay, and when it's done, the file, it gives me a pop-up like save to this and that destination. Okay.
So it'll come up from the bottom, and then it will show you where to save, and you can click on that. It will open the.
Cool. Really happy to be on board, and looking forward how you guys go forward.
If you by chance want to change where the output file path is or anything, right? Where it's going to save to, you just simply click here.
Change output file path. Yeah, there I see it. Okay, yeah.
You can stop rendering. You can cancel specific jobs like that, right? So
my videos will be on time. My new ads.
Yeah, make sure you send us a link to your channel. You'll definitely have a couple subscribers there.
Yeah.
It's in German.
I'll be leaving some comments.
Yeah.
Like, Doug, you're really screwed up, man. Never had somebody ask a question like that. Awesome. Well, Shaun, is there let's see.
A little bit of
another files.
Okay, I thank you guys. I have to continue my work on the video.
Rock on. Nice talking to you again.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
So, little update, and Quinston, I think you're going to be able to replicate this. So, it cuts up the video, it cuts up the audio, but when you open the XML in Final Cut, it doesn't even come up.
Yeah, and I'll need to see that. I think it's something to do with the firmware. That's what I said, right? So some cameras have different ways of setting up their metadata, which is why I'll need to figure out for the Panasonic version what metadata is exactly being picked up, and then tweak it accordingly. I have the file now.
I'm wondering if there's anything they don't really tell you that kind of stuff.
No, they don't. You have to do it manually. It's all trial and error. I'll work on this. I have the files. I just downloaded them.
Yeah, it's not 10,000 gig.
No, it's done downloading.
Yeah, and you have the audio as well, right? You got both.
Yeah.
And Quinston, I was thinking while we're on here, just to finish off that conversation with that blue button being create video, just even having something like additional export options, right? So that
perfect. Yeah, I mean, I did not expect that to be a feedback. I mean,
neither did I. I mean, we're knee deep in it. Yeah, no, that's
when you're in a project, you get tunnel. Then it's
I know
those things that other users will bring up is
excellent. So Shaun, you've got Quinston.
I'll get back to you on this one. Yeah,
Quinston will take a look at it. We're at the end of our office hours time allotment, and we'll get back to you, Shaun. Eric, it was very nice meeting you. Best of luck with your channel. Join us next week after you get a chance to, make a video or two, and we'll be happy to help you optimize your workflow even further.
Great. Before we jump off, that other question about the blue button and all that stuff, can you just bring that up on screen to show me what you guys were talking about? Because I don't have a visual for what that conversation was about.
Yeah. So if you want to output as a single video, okay, but without, jump cut video, what you're going to do, this is the blue button. Right now it says add to render queue. And so you hit add to render queue, and then you hit start rendering. Okay, and that'll output the single video file. What he was saying was he thought, since these were the main export options, not like additional export options, so he didn't know that add to render queue, he thought he would have to turn these into a bunch of video clips or follow one of these specific export protocols versus being able to just output a single video file. And so the reason we did that is so that you could stack jobs on top of one another. Okay, so once this is start rendering, let's say you have 2 or 3 other videos that you wanted to do, you could continually just drop them into TimeBolt, add them to the render queue, and go play with your dog and play frisbee while your 5 videos are all cut for you.
Just a quick suggestion. Okay, I was kind of listening to what he was saying, but this is actually really easy for you guys. See where it says add to render queue? Put another box under it with maybe a brighter blue that just says render now. And when you click it, it says warning, cut videos will not be, or something that just suggests that it's destructive.
It's not, it's not, well, it doesn't destroy the original source file.
No, it's destructive because it re-encodes the file.
It remuxes the file to movies that you can't pull the ends, right?
No, it is destructive because it re-encodes the file.
Yeah, basically. So what I'm saying is, if you add a button to the bottom, like you leave it the way it is, so that way it's still familiar. Because most software, you have 3 buttons, like cancel, or it's like add to render queue, or the queue, start now, start this job now, or start over. Like restart. That should be, maybe those 3 would work, because if you put that in the same spot, one of the things is like I'm always closing and reopening TimeBolt, so that way I know things. And I know you guys have the reset in the settings, but if you had it down there, it's just like it's right there. That way if people want to start over, it's just right there. But yeah, if you have add to render queue and then render now with an exclamation point, because it means like we're going now, like, and that's ironically a lot of software does that, where they put the exclamation point to be like, hey, you're starting it right now. Adding the render queue is like, okay, it's off to the side, but put the exclamation point, that's just put it right under, and then you're laughing.
Yeah, that makes sense. You could just like start rendering immediately.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. You guys can come up with the wording, but yeah, that's just my usually. Like Premiere and other software I've seen, they have like full options.
Every time you're going to render a video, you should add it to the render queue and select the export option, and then hit start render.
No, I don't. So this is the thing. There's 2 different. This is the button that you use to make one video. Like, just you're gonna end up with one jump cut video. These options export them into design editors.
Oh, clips. I see.
As clips.
Those will export as clips.
Yeah, so as you get into it, XML gives you drag handle control, which means you can pull left and right to do any fine tuning. It's something like video clips, export video clips. That's basically the only place you'd use that is something like, right? But even then, you just typically go with one long video file. What's nice about having them delineated is that if you're going to be adding depth and layers onto something, it helps show you where to splice in and where to add and stuff like that, versus having just one long timeline.
That makes sense. I mean, the way I'm thinking about it for me is, if I'm trying to, even before creating content to put out there, if I'm trying to work through ideas, almost using this as a audio-visual notebook for myself, I can kind of go through my ideas, thinking about parts of my presentation, have the whole thing exported as clips, bring it into an editor, and then start dragging pieces around because I have got them as pieces. And if I say, okay, I'm going to put this here, put that there, and then I can create little blocks that are just fillers, space holders where I think I need a transition, or just kind of using it as an ideation creation process. Not something for final export, but for something to take my ideas out of my head, because sometimes just talking about it is better for me than.
That's really cool. Yeah, because if you recording yourself for like half an hour and you're just brainstorming, you don't want to skim through half an hour. You'd rather just like listen, and write all your ideas down after. That's actually brilliant. I like that.
Yeah.
And then I can just put it on a timeline and drag them around and move them, and then sort of create the presentation that makes it seems like it flows better, and then figure out where I need to stick in extra content to transition. You can
even do it faster as well. If what you're visually showing isn't important, you can also export it as a WAV audio only. Oh wait, no, that would just be one. There'd be one clip. That makes sense. Yeah, I completely agree with you though, Eric. Like pitch back, like when I'm giving pitches and stuff like that, and you end up getting 3 or 4 people that are giving you their opinion about what you could change, what you could say. I run everything through TimeBolt and then just export it as a WAV file, and so I can listen to it on a run, without any dead air present, just to kind of get to the heart of information quicker. I haven't used it yet for a brain dump type of tool, but I think that's a great idea.
Eric, You just are making me thinking about buying another external hard drive just for that. As I get ideas like that, and then I'm like, if I could just faster than typing, then that's actually brilliant. That is amazing. Wow.
Because for me, instead of typing, it makes more sense to actually get it out of my head that way. Because I access things differently when I'm just talking about it, or I could get on a Zoom call and have a conversation about something, go through kind of bring up ideas, process it like that.
I'm trying to think how you guys can monetize that like separately. That's kind of crazy. Wow.
We could show it as a use case scenario, as a way of, to bring people in who aren't necessarily, you could use it for both sides of the equation, right? On the content creation and ideation side, as well as then you can take those ideas and let's say, once I move those ideas all into place and move those clips around, what I would do is probably export that as an audio file, run it through a transcription thing, and then use that as my basic transcription to then go back and shoot my basic video.
That's what Doug does with these Thursdays. That's basically
the transcriptions. Absolutely. I mean, when you're getting feedback, and there's certain ways people say things, so you're not just retyping them. Once you cut all that video up, I throw it up. I used to sell an enterprise video platform called Circle HD, and they have the transcription. So I just upload it, download the transcriptions, and begin writing my script. Those are all big time savers.
Eric, thank you for the mastermind idea. Your brain is a beautiful thing, and I am definitely I'm gonna make use of that in my workflows. So I actually have to run, guys. It's been a pleasure. Quinston, I'm glad.
No, you are not ending my show. You are not ending my show, Shaun. This is the end of TimeBolt. Thank you so much for joining us on Live Thursdays. Do not listen to Shaun. We are muting him because he is better than I am at closing.
Our Thursday meetup on Zoom. It's TimeBolt. My name is Shaun, and I am the CEO, the owner, the creator, mastermind, the genesis of all that is important to the TimeBolt ecosystem and video editing as a whole. I don't know.
Last name is Bolt. It's Shaun Bolt. Shaun Bolt. What a cool name.
Changing my name.
Well, thank you very much. It was a great show, Shaun. And Eric, it was thank you. You definitely didn't give us any good ideas. No. So thank you very much, and it was great talking with everybody. And thank you for choosing TimeBolt. Don't forget to smash the like, hit the pound, and hit the notification bell. Of course, smash. I'm gonna write that down one day.
You need to script it out, man.
I need to script that out. Yes, I'm being lazy here. Your own damn show on Shaun's show, you're lazy. All right, thank you very much, gentlemen.
All right, thank you, guys.
Bye.